being different in terms of being a personal brand is absolutely critical. And what I've always said is what makes you weird is what makes you rich. If you're not marketing consistently, if people can't see you and hear you every single day, you simply don't exist. You must make money your number one priority. The first question I ask myself every single day is, how am I going to make more money today? And is that shallow, narrow, sadistic of any kind? Of course it's not. It's literally the fuel to a business.
What one key piece of advice would you like to give to all the entrepreneurs watching and listening today?
If I could give one piece of advice to any entrepreneurial business owner right now, it would be start yesterday.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Business Growth Show. I'm your host, Athin Cassiotis, and today I have an awesome guest. Her name is Sarah Cordiner, and she is a qualified teacher trainer, tech specialist, and female entrepreneur of the year in 2023. And Sarah is the founder of the all-in-one CRM and course creation platform, Tekmatix, which is Australia's most awarded all-in-one CRM and business platform that was recently market valued at $15 million. And Sarah specializes in helping you commercialize your expertise into courses, coaching programs, and memberships, as well as scale and automate your business using technology. Welcome, Sarah, and thank you for being on the Business Growth Show.
Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here. It's taken us a while to get this together with both of our schedules being insane, but really cool to finally be on here today. We're looking forward to sharing all kinds of tips. And I love the fact that we have no pre-clue what we're going to be talking about today. I know we are coming in fully in the flow. So I've got no idea what you're going to ask me, but I do know that whatever you ask me, I will be lifting the lid and sharing everything that we possibly can to make this the most helpful, the most amazing and useful episode on this whole show.
Yes, I love it. I love your energy, Sarah. And yes, we make it happen, right? Among everything that's got going on. And I'm the same. I like to not prepare, so to speak, because then it becomes, more natural and it shows that we know our stuff, right? And I'm sure you do. I know that you know your stuff as well. So it's going to be fun and very valuable for everyone, watching, listening today. And you are a very successful entrepreneur. Yeah, for those people who don't know who you are, just tell us a little bit more about you and your journey.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I've just celebrated my 20 years in business, and I know I only look 21. Stop it. I started my business in education back in the UK. As you can probably tell from my accent, I've been an Australian for nearly 15 years now. But I basically didn't like school at all. As soon as my last day of school came along, I swore that I would never go back into a classroom ever again. Went backpacking around the world with a big old middle finger up to school. See you never. And while I was traveling, found myself just completely by destiny falling into volunteering in schools that were overseas and orphanages. And I kind of really discovered that I had this natural passion for teaching and education. And so I got back from my backpacking trip all covered in suntan and empty pockets and phoned up the local university. They had one place left on one program, even though it was 30 days past the sign-up date. And that was a place in the degree in education. I could not believe my luck that was how it happened. I would really truly feel there was a bit of a destiny's hand involved. But I did my 2 degrees in adult education and back then specialized in e-learning as well as some elements in human behavior and motivation, which is why I'm so interested in how people do things, get things done, move forward. But very, very quickly realized that adult education was my passion area. I started an education business while I was still at university and had a job as a training manager simultaneously, and worked my way through to having my first fully operating business with government contracts by the time I was 19 years old. So I took that business then into Europe, where I later moved, and then 15 years ago here in Australia, and have specialized in turning knowledge and expertise into online programs through that education curriculum design and e-learning tech side that I was basically one of the first ever teachers to be able to go in and explore, just purely because of the time in which all of it happened back then. So moved that into the public market, working with governments. Had a lot of big government contracts when I first arrived in Australia, really helping with that people and workforce development and the education design and helping people put all of their programs and staff training into the online space. And 2020, by the time that old year came along, remember that one? When all of these tech companies started tripling their prices on us because they were ka-chinging from the fact that the whole world was going online. one of my students said, Sarah, I don't know how I'm going to keep running my business because all of these tools we had to use back then, a course platform, an email marketing platform, a calendar booking system, an affiliate management system, social media scheduling software. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on, right? The prices were just getting ridiculous. So one of my students in a call said, Sarah, if you started your own platform, I would join it. And the Zoom just started going, bing, me too, bing, me too, bing, me too. I was like, hold my beer. And a month later, Tekmatix was born and had 754 people signed up on the waiting list for it. So that's kind of how Tekmatix came along back then. And it's been an absolute wild ride since. And I do it all from the spare bedroom with me Ugg boots on. Oh yeah, you can't get much more Aussie than an Ugg boot, can you? Most people are used to seeing me in the stilettos on stages, but it's normally barefoot or Ugg boots. I have to be true.
I love it. That's amazing. What a story. And yeah, I think it's a, testament to you of using your background and then going, what does the market want, right? And you saw that opportunity and going, well, okay, let's give them what they want. Everyone's there. And then you're an action taker, definitely. And you've definitely got an amazing, unique personality about yourself, Sarah, which is hilarious as well when you're on stage. And I'm sure in this interview today, too, which makes people gravitate right to you there, which I think's really important. And maybe let's talk a little bit about initially. I think being different today is really important, right? And this is the power of, let's call it, the personal brand, of the authenticity side of things, right? So you want to maybe just share a little bit more around that and what we need to be focusing on as we move forward in business.
Yeah, being different in terms of being a personal brand is absolutely critical. And what I've always said is what makes you weird is what makes you rich. In fact, it wasn't me who came up with that original term, but it's something that I've just vibed with so much that I've adopted it. Basically, this is a concept that goes around the fact that whatever it is that is kind of really stands out as different about you, and this usually would be the thing that you got teased about as a kid, or that so-called caring grown-ups told you should stop, be less than, take away, reduce, cover up, hide, or control. It's basically this part about you that is so noticeable that it has been remarked on, commented on, is stared at, is talked about behind your back, because this is the thing that is ultimately unique about you. And that is the thing that comes so naturally as a standout factor that it could literally be your brand or your USP in whatever it is that you do. So that weirdness is your richness. And I encourage you to completely and utterly embrace it. Like for me, the biggest criticism I was given by teachers and those who were supposed to be inspiring me as a kid was, she talks too much. If she just shut up, she'd be more successful. Well, I'm a freaking paid speaker. I get paid millions of dollars to speak for a living. Now, if I'd taken that advice, be quiet, speak less, it's always about talk, 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 I wouldn't be doing what I'd be doing right now. And I wouldn't have had 280,000 people go through my courses. And I wouldn't have a business that supports thousands of other businesses to operate around the world. The thing that you are told you need to be less than, be freaking more of. Turn up your volume, turn up your personality, turn up your belief system, turn up how much you stand up and care about that thing. And believe me, you will not have a competitor ever again, because it then becomes about your energy and your essence and the thing that is completely unique about you, as well as umbrellaed then by your unique methodology or your unique IP framework that you use. So even if you've got 10 people either side of you who teach the same thing or sell the same course or provide the same advice or deliver the same service, you still are completely and utterly entirely indifferent to them in the way that you make people feel, which is actually what a brand is, right? Not our logo. It's the feeling that people have when they're near us or around us. And also your personality, which again is ultimately what people choose to work with or move away from.
Yeah, amazing. So true. It's so powerful. And I think everybody and myself included, like, putting myself out there more, right? And going, hey, okay. And it's the relationships. It's that polarity, in an extent. And I don't want to use the word Trump, but he's a very polarizing person, right? And that love him or hate him, right? But that's both. And that's, we don't want to necessarily be that full on, but we want to get to the point where we get polarity, right? Where we go, people, love Athin, they love Sarah, and other people going, you know what, they're not for me. And that's fine. You know what I mean? Because we attract the people that we want. He's just the full on crazy version of it, right? But let's do it in our own way there. So we get that attraction. I think that's the most important part with that brand. And follow on from that, I guess, from putting ourselves out there from like a content perspective, right? Because I know you talk a lot about content, organic video marketing, things like that, right? Of putting ourselves, because a lot of people might be like, oh, I'm not good on video, I don't want to do it, or things like that. So, why is it important, and what things can we be putting out there to really showcase ourselves?
Content marketing by far has been probably the biggest driver of my positioning in my industry, getting known in my little niche, getting the leads and the followers and the income that I have. So I really genuinely owe a huge amount of the success attribution to content creation and organic marketing. And I'm really, really glad that I started this 15 plus years ago when, blogging started becoming a thing and Facebook started becoming a thing, more of the business side of the world. And it, for me, is being powerful because when somebody goes to Google a question by billions a day, right? They're typing in, how do I get, how do I be, how do I have, how do I achieve, how do I stop having, how do I do, right? How do I fix? People are typing those questions into Google by the billions. And all Google's job and other search engines' job to do is to find a piece of content that exactly matches that question. Ding, search engine optimization. You've now got leads being sent to you by Google. This has now been replaced on an astronomically higher level with AI. Now, if you go to AI, your ChatGPT, your Gemini, your Claude, your Manus, whichever one you're using, and you ask a question, because more people are Googling via AI rather than Google these days, these AI language models now, again, refer you to, or refer people, the searcher, to your websites, to your blog posts, to your content with a hyperlink in the GPT search results. In fact, literally 2 weeks ago, the day of recording this, a new face popped up in my group coaching program, and she said, hello, I'm here because I went to ChatGPT and asked a question about the best coach for course creation, and this Sarah Cordiner name came up, and I'd never heard you before. She's from the US, the other side of the world to me, here in Australia. And she said, well, then I wasn't really sure, so I checked Manus, who's the best course creation coach. Again, this Sarah Cordiner chick who I've never heard of comes up. So then I went to Gemini just to be sure, and Gemini told me you too. And she goes, here I am within seconds, because if all of those 3 AI models all recommended you and sent me to your website, you must be doing something right. Bam, free traffic for freaking life. And now we have AI that's going to be the biggest source of free traffic we've ever seen in the internet world. I mean, I am so excited because I've worked so hard creating years worth of content behind the scenes that now can be found by the algorithms of not just traditional search engines, but now by AI, and make me the number one reference that it's sending all of my potential traffic leads to, which is just so this content that has helped me be found via these means has been the boring, unsexy how-to educational content. Being an educator by trade and profession, I call this edupreneurship or edu-marketing. And this is where you're creating content in the form of blogs, because it's searchable and discoverable, and because blogs get vintage over time rather than outdated over time. Content such as videos where you're providing instructional tutorial based information. They can be anything from a minute long to, an hour or more long, because again, when they go up on YouTube, second largest search engine in the world, you're just creating more opportunity of being discovered by the people who are actively searching right now. So this means you've got the hottest people coming in because they're going how to something. The blog post or the video, organic content that you've created matches that question. You are again constantly coming up as that number one person, that number one result, that number one source of information, no matter where they are searching for that information on. And that, with a call to action such as a free lead magnet or a free session or come in and actually joining my programs, has been the predominant method of marketing that I've used to build a multi-7-figure business, basically. So is it as sexy as trending videos? Is it as exhilarating and, adrenaline inducing as getting a viral video? Of course it's not, nowhere near. It's a completely different type of content. And it should be certainly in addition to some of the more fun, personal, trendy type stuff, so that people can see all parts of us. But it is certainly the highest ROI, the longest shelf life, and the longest and highest volume of free traffic that you can possibly get. So is worth all the time.
Yeah, so true. And I think the important part here, I want to add to Sarah is, like, she's doing it consistently. for a long period of time, right? So people are seeing her show up, right? And it's searchable over a long period of time. And it's all about building momentum, right? That's what business is about, right? It doesn't happen in a year. Look, Sarah's been doing it for 15 plus years, right? Doing content for so long that, now the last few years she's able to really leverage that. And it's the same like with the podcast. The first couple of years, that's why most people quit podcasts, is nothing really happens. But then after that, I've been doing it for 5+ years now. I get multiple emails daily from people wanting to be on it, all this type of stuff, right? Because it's built over time. And I think that's the key thing is, are you committed to doing it, right, consistently? And then it will grow over time. And I think the other part that was important was about the niching, because you were like, I'm going to do course creation coach here, and that's what I'm being known for, right? For in that example that you shared there. And I think this, segues well into, I guess, commercializing, right? Your knowledge and things like that with courses and what you focus on with your coaching programs, things like that. So do you want to maybe share a little bit more around, I guess, the niching part? What should we should be focusing on in that part as well?
Yeah, great question. So look, I am very much as about education and making impact. I'm also extremely, extremely strong on the business front. So if you're not commercializing it and you're not making profit from it, we got a problem, Houston, and we need to really ask ourselves what we're doing wrong. Usually it's just not enough marketing to enough amount of people for a long enough period of time. However, sometimes it's just because people actually aren't making the sale yet. They're not putting their thing out there yet. I see so many business owners say, I'm going to wait until I've got a following on Facebook before I launch my thing. I'm going to focus on just getting more followers until I launch my thing. Dude, followers aren't going to pay your bills. Okay, they're not going to pay the next tax return or the next business registration payment, right? You must make money your number one priority. The first question I ask myself every single day is, how am I going to make more money today? And is that shallow, narrow, sadistic of any kind? Of course it's not. It's literally the fuel to a business. If your business isn't earning money, you can't keep the lights on, you can't feed yourself, everything is gone, including all the people that you could have helped if you had earned some money. Put fuel in your tank. It is essential to be financially focused in business. And that's why each day starts with, how can I make money today? I've even, for my Legends Lab members, created a bot. It's called Personalized Business Planner, where they pop in all of their random to-do list items, and it will reprioritize and fill in the gaps of tasks that focus on income generation as the priority. So if you're just using ChatGPT yourself for what the F should I be doing today moments, then go and put your to-do list in and say, please prioritize this for income focused priority. So with that, focusing on money, making money, how can I do that as quickly as possible? Whatever for you is the easiest way to transmit the stuff that you're good at is the method of packaging you should start with. So every single person, even if you're a service-based business and you don't see yourself as an educator or course creator or whatever, you still can be selling your knowledge, because if you're selling software, well, you still need to teach people how to use the thing or do enough edu-marketing to attract people in to come and at least have your free trials and check it out, right? If you sell flipping lawnmowers, you still need to be able to educate on how to use the lawnmower, how to landscape your garden like a golf course, or all these things that people might be actually typing into Google and YouTube and AI to get how-to videos on, which is how they end up with you. Either way, there's something you can teach and there's something that you can sell me so that my skills, knowledge, or outcomes can happen faster in that thing that you just do naturally all the time. So in this case, you want to be looking at your primary business model, your one big goal for the year. I call it the OBT. If your goal is to make $1 million, what products and services are you going to sell to get there, and how many of them do you need to sell to get there? But with the educational side, you're going to be asking yourself, do I just want to do like one massive launch for one really core product that I want to offer this year? And I will go out and do a huge launch campaign, an ad campaign, where I've brain dumped all of my knowledge, all of my information, all of my resources into this one bucket. It's one price, and I'm going to sell, 1,000 of them at $1,000 each, right? Boom, at least got some dollar coming in there. Or are you going, I want to create something a bit more longer term than that? I want to create something that I'm willing to do the 5 years, the 3 years, the 10 years work into to build up that might be something I could even sell one day. So this is where you might be looking at something that's a bit more sustainable, like a subscription-based membership, whereby you're getting monthly recurring income coming in. That massively increases the valuation of your business, and whereby you can spend time continuously marketing that membership so that that monthly number just continues to build and build and build. And that's where real long-term slower growth, however, really good, healthy business financials come from. The MRR, baby. I know, I think you're a fan too of the MRR, sexy monthly recurring revenue. Can't say anything more delicious than that to a business owner. So you've decided kind of the methodology, right? This could be self-study courses. It could be lots of mini courses. It could be a membership subscription. It might be a coaching program. But whatever it is, you've determined the model that both works for you in achieving your short-term and your long-term goal, but also that works for you in your energy. What are you going to enjoy showing up doing, right? If it's going to literally feel like sticking glass in your eyeballs, then maybe that's not the right thing for you to be doing. For me, I really struggle with one-on-ones. I feel like they deplete me. When I have one-to-many, I'm energized. So I've learned that by doing and exploring. And this is why, for me, my membership, where I get to be with people for a long time, see the results because I take them there over a long period. I can have hundreds of people on a call and be helping lots and lots of people all at the same time. So what works for you energetically in terms of that delivery? And then finally, this is when you start going out there, going to market with the promotion of your product to the niche, which is back to the beginning of this question, that you are most targeting. Now, the niche part I really want to address here, because I do believe that at the beginning, the more you niche, the better it is for you to be able to target the right person, find the right person, and really stand out in something. If you do lots of different things and you're quite vague, business coach, you do just blend into a massive grey sea. And there's nothing really that stands out about you. I could call myself a business coach, but I picked one part, just one of the many things I teach, course creation. Bing! Now, all of a sudden, my little head sticks up above that crowd of business coaches because I'm waving a very particular flag. And I can write blog posts to that specific niche audience. I can find Facebook groups that have that particular role or job or identity in the title, right? And this makes it so much easier then for you to go and find and target those particular people. Now, as time goes on, then you can start marketing yourself with different variations of your name. So sometimes when I'm in the Sarah Cordiner course world, I refer to myself as a course creation and membership coach, right? When I'm in the tech world, I refer to myself as a tech coach. So this is where you can now begin after a few years. Some people see me as the content marketing coach. Some people see me as that email marketing person, right? Because now you can start adding what I call these rings around you that, yes, you wave the flag of this primary offer, this primary topic, but once they come to you, having been drawn to you for that core offering, then you can go, by the way, not only do I teach you how to create the course and the membership, I also teach you the tech and the marketing and the personal branding and everything else that comes with it. Come and buy this offer, right? So that is certainly for me, my advice is focusing in on that niche first, staying as long as possible in that niche. If you keep changing your mind every 5 minutes, you're going to get nowhere. And then opening up the whole entire sweetie cupboard or lolly cupboard once they've been enticed by that one that you're waggling around in the air.
Love it. Awesome. So true. And yeah, amazing stuff that you shared there. And I think you touched on it a little bit, right? And I want to talk about this a bit more about AI now, right? Because it's changing the game. And I know you're amazing at this. And a lot of people mostly probably just know ChatGPT or they want to do something with AI, right? And
Yeah.
and I know you've created, your own custom GPTs and all these other things that you've been
Mm.
talking about today. So maybe just tell people, what's possible, right? And where you see it going, right? Of where this is at and the importance, of implementing, AI into our businesses.
Oh, I love it. Well, AI has been around a lot longer than people realize, and so is automation. In fact, I first started teaching about automation more than 15 years ago. This is when we had tools like If This, Then That, and then Zapier came along. So there's been a lot of automation taking place. I was a partner with Thinkific and Active Campaign, a lot of those other big tech platforms before I had Tekmatix. And even back then, I was using automation heavily to build and sell my products and services. Again, I'd put content marketing out there that was relevant to my niche of course creators. That pulled them to my blog. Once on my blog, there'd be a tutorial video, some helpful information, and then some kind of sign up. So the sign up would give me their email address, and that would then put them into what's called a welcome email sequence behind the scenes, where they get loads of helpful tips in the topic of the thing that brought them there, which would then sell them my courses, my services, and all of that kind of business. So that automation basic stuff has been in place for a very long time, and is certainly what helped me scale so fast so many years ago. And today, obviously, that has manifested in so many different ways of AI. In fact, I've got an AI boot camp happening at the end of this year, if anyone wants to get Athin's affiliate link for that, to check it out. But basically, for me, the biggest one has been managing everyday admin, I think, in terms of the fact that I've spent so long building my brand. I'm no massive influencer by any means, but in my little micro niche, I have a lot of communication and interaction and a lot of incoming messages from people in my field, right? So I was just spending so much time responding to all of these incoming inquiries on every platform. I would go into Instagram and the messenger's full. I'd go into Facebook business page and the message's full. I go into my personal one, it's full. I go into WhatsApp, it's full. I go into my business profile, it's full. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's just hundreds of emails and messages a day. And it was just becoming so overwhelming for me. So I obviously started paying people to try and stay on top of all of these for me manually, which becomes expensive. It's a full-time person's job at the end of the day to reply to that many messages. So when I got Tekmatix, was super excited when the function from the GHL base we're on added in this AI bots, the AI responders, right? That you train by simply chucking your website in, and the bot scans your website, learns everything about you. And obviously for me, I've got thousands of blog posts in there. So the information this learned about me in seconds was great. You can add in all your frequently asked questions for all the weird and hairy things. And boom, all of a sudden, this thing is now answering all of my incoming messages, sending people to my booking calendar for me, so I wouldn't have to do anything, and going, oh, if you are interested in that, here's the information about that course of Sarah's. You're interested in this? Oh, you're definitely going to want to check out Sarah's coaching program. Oh, that sounds like you want the done for you service. Come and check out Sarah's services over here. You get the point, right? I now have basically 8 hours a day like that back. And I've obviously now been able to redirect the person who is spending 8 hours a day just responding to those things that now an AI bot does by itself, that she can now go and do more income generating work for me and come back to that. How can I make money for the business today, instead of how can I answer 250 plus messages that are coming in the DMs? So that for me has definitely been the biggest game changer. I think a lot of the businesses that we've seen move over have commented on that being something that now they don't have to worry about. There's none of that following up. The bookings are coming in automatically and the sales are coming in automatically without a single person being involved. The other one that I just absolutely love is AI and workflows. So now you can connect in your own chat GPT to your workflows and give each new contact that joins your system a completely unique and personally crafted welcome sequence of emails that specifically relates to them and their business and everything, meaning that no two people who go through your welcome sequence receive the same set of emails. This, for me, I still have my chin on the floor that this is even real and here today, considering how many hours I've painfully sat writing my welcome email sequences. So I think this is incredible because a lot of my sales come from those email automations of when people have opted into my freebies and such what. So that one is definitely a game changer.
Yeah, amazing. So powerful. I love it. And yeah, everybody get involved. You're seeing now, with automating things, with messages, with taking action, right? And we're getting into the voice AI is coming into it now. There's a lot of
Yeah.
other things, right? So it's starting to get really cool, right, with what's there. And I think
And the
you got
custom
to,
GPTs.
yeah, amazing, right?
Just
Sarah's already mentioned a few of like automatically, reprioritizing tasks for, revenue generating as an example. You can create anything that's custom, right? To build it for yourself. And I think that's the important part that Sarah's here. It's like get involved, test it out for yourself, or learn from people, like Sarah and others that are out there going, what can we do to start implementing AI? And there's an automation / AI thing. They're sort of the same as people call them. But there's a lot there that's possible. Let's talk more about the tech side now, right? Which is linked to it anyway, because tech is, I love systems, one of my most fun parts. And I know you do as well. So important to scale, and having the right systems is really important. A lot of people used to have 20 plus different systems or whatever, to do things. Now we don't need to do that as much, right? Because we've got, systems like Tekmatix, which have it all in the one system. You can do the majority of things like that instead of needing to connect stuff. So let's talk about this, all in one area, and the benefits of that, and what's possible for us to have, in this ecosystem to scale.
Yeah, and I always say to people, even though I own a tech software, that I would love you all to come and join. The point is that no one software is perfect for any particular business, and nor is there a perfect correct one for any particular business. I think it's really important for people to go and do free trials on all of the things that they're considering, so that you can get the experience of what's the support that comes with this. Do I like how it looks and feels on the inside? Is there a community that comes with it? Do I get any kind of setup help? Do I get a certain number of services that come with this to help me succeed? Is there any training or tutorials involved? Like, all of those things I think are really, really important checkpoints. Checking the terms and conditions. Can I cancel and leave if I don't like it and want to move on? Do I get to take my data with me? Is there a free trial period at all so I can go and look at it? Where do the owners come from and what's their background? And are they going to be able to strategically support me? Have they been going for more than 5 minutes? Especially now how easy it is today to create software and run software or white label software. There's a lot of people who are very inexperienced and have very, very low operational support and structures behind the scenes, and basically have only been around for like a couple of months. And I'd strongly recommend, again, if you're looking at a platform, please make sure you're with one that's got through the 3-year startup phase, because 90% of tech companies don't last beyond the first year, let alone the first 3, which is the technical startup period. If they've made it past 3 years in the SaaS and tech industry, they've got a solid platform and a solid system going on behind the scenes, and that they've done that, by the way, with a consistent amount of at least 500 customers. Because again, there's a very big difference between lasting 3 years with a handful of customers than lasting 3 years with hundreds of customers, because that requires a very, very different operational structure behind the scenes. So that's just a few things for you to just to consider, because I know there's loads of tools out there and lots of people just don't know how to make the decision. Get a free trial and see how much support you get. But this is where, as we were mentioning earlier, I think you begun this with, we saw an opportunity and we've gone after it. You too need to work out, when you're picking a software, what is my biggest need in my business right now to help me make more money? Let's go back to that again. To make more money, you need to have contacts. You need to be able to send them automated emails that promote and sell your things. And those promote and sellable things are on your own sales pages with your own checkouts. If you've got those basic 3, you can literally start making money today. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be making money within 24 hours. If you've got a funnel page, you've got an ability to get people's money in emails, you've got an ability to sell them something. Boom. Even if you're selling just calendar appointments. So you don't even need to create and build a product or come up with any kind of service. You can go straight into a platform that has calendar booking functionality, like Tekmatix, create a 90-minute call that might cost me $2,000, where in that 90-minute call, you're going to help me get something really cool finished or done or completed or worked on together. Right? We'll do it in just 90 minutes for $2,000. This result is going to be had. Boom, calendar link. You can now make money. Right now, if any of you have got more than one friend on Facebook, you already have the ability to make income. And even if you haven't got one friend on Facebook because you've just opened your account, all you've got to do is go into the search bar and type in whoever your target audience are and go and join all the groups where those people are. If you're targeting mothers, type in mum, mom, mummy, mama, and you'll find millions of mums that you can go and start promoting your new 90-minute special service to. That all you had to do was turn on a calendar, which is done for free by you, but by the way, when you join up to Tekmatix. So when you're starting to think of this, what do I need right now to make money right now? You're going to have those basic features. So any platform that has all of those in one place is going to absolutely give you that basic functionality. Now, as your business grows, you're going to start needing other stuff, right? Not only the funnels, you're probably going to now need websites, website hosting. There's more costs for you. You're also going to need your social media schedulers. You're going to need these bots that we're talking about. Oh, also who's answering the phone for you? You're going to need a voice agent to answer the call and act as your receptionist for you, to sell everything for you. You're also going to need a CRM where you can store all of your contact information, upload customer notes and records, upload files. Maybe you've got to start doing contracts and proposals and agreements, legal agreements, and you want to have these signable documents. Ding, 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 ding. All of these inside Tekmatix. Maybe you want your own affiliate program. Maybe you want to create coupons, right? There are a million different other features that I could go into, but you get the point here is as your business is growing, your need of functionality is going to increase. And the biggest thing I've seen in the last 15, 20 years of helping people set up their tech is that they tend to go for these platforms that are smaller and cheaper and have less features at the beginning, because let's face it, at the beginning, we don't all have lots of spare money, right? And so they'll go, oh, well, when I hit the free limit, i.e. they get their first 10 contacts, now they've got to start paying, and then they get 100 contacts and their price goes up again. And then they get 500 contacts and the price goes up again. And then they have to move everything because their business got bigger. And it's like starting and knocking down the house and rebuilding it all. And they lose and go back another 3 months because they've had to rebuild it all somewhere else because they thought, if I start small over here, I'll move it later when I need to. No, please just know that when your business is successful, you're going to need tech functionality. So just start where you mean to go on. Why not assume that you're going to be successful within your first 30 days and that $100 is going to pay for itself? Because if you focus on building the right foundations and the right house that you want from day one and day two happen a lot faster. So yes, I would be thinking about all of those extra features that you're going to want for running your business. Go ask around. But Tekmatix has all of those. It's built on top of a base platform called High Level. Some of you may have heard it. And this basically it's a little bit like the WordPress of the software world, basically. Like many of you have WordPress websites, they kind of have the basic features and look similar from the back end. It's the add-ons, it's the APIs, it's the design, it's the extra development, it's the support team that come with whichever company you've chosen to go with. So Tekmatix is like GHL on steroids because we've added in a lot of extra features. We've pre-built tons of workflows, automations and funnels, especially for the course creators, coaches, consultants and speakers out there. And we also have a 24-hour support team in-house of our own. So there's lots of other things that do make us different, but these again are the things that you'd be thinking about, looking at and assessing when you're going into all of the free trials of everything.
Yeah, love it. So true. So amazing. And I say the same thing to my clients. Do the free trials and think about where the business is going and that the systems you have are scalable. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to just waste a lot of time and money for no reason there. So definitely so important. Love that, Sarah. And yeah, very, very powerful platform, definitely to be built on High Level. And, I interviewed the co-founders as well, and they got a massive vision, right, of what they want to do in this world. And that's what Sarah's talking about is like, what is it backed off, right? Like, where these guys are going. And then, you can put it on steroids type of thing and make it even more amazing is what Sarah is doing. So that's really lovely. Just one more thing you mentioned before around getting things done, right? And I know like me, I have multiple businesses. I know you do multiple things. We've got a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of people think, oh, how do you do stuff? We love the chaos a little bit more to some extent, but we also need to put ourselves, on the right path to make sure we're actually focused. So what tips can you give people maybe that are doing a lot of stuff like that to stay focused and make sure that they're getting things done and the right things done?
Yeah, I love this question. I'm going to pre-open this with a little bit of a personal share in that I am of the spicy variety. So I do not that kind of spicy. I do have ADHD, and all my life have been very, very aware of the fact that discipline has been a very important controlled part of my life, because of the fact that if I didn't have discipline, I didn't have structure and systems, it would actually be very difficult for me to get things done, because I would just be chasing imaginary squirrels everywhere and going on side quests every 5 minutes, right? So I have to actually very much structure my day, my tasks, the way that I work and my environment to make sure that I stay in a very productive place. Having said that, however, I am probably the most productive person I know. And I do that because I start with the much bigger picture. If you want to be the most successful person who hits their goals every single year, whether your goal right now is to just earn $100 a week, or whether your goal is to start earning 100 grand a month or $1 million a month, you must begin, number one, with the big picture that I call that OBT, the one big thing. What is your one big measurable goal for the next 12 months? So I tend to recommend that people pick a revenue goal for this, so a specific number, monetary figure that they would like to have go through their bank account from today through to the next 12 months. What will be that total revenue figure that comes through? Once we begin with that, then we can actually start moving through our process of getting ourselves actioned and taking action and succeeding in getting there. So once I've got my OBT, one big thing, the next thing I do is go, right, what's the primary or hero product or service that I intend to sell and push for the next 12 months. So even though I've got tons of products, tons of services, boot camps, everything, I always pick a hero product of the year. And I recommend everybody does the same. That is the primary product I talk about in all my marketing, that is going as the call to action in my blogs, it's going as the call to action in your emails. It might be the thing I run ads for. And that's the thing that I'm holding up, waving around in the air in all of my marketing. And if that type of format for the hero product isn't for them, so for me, it's my membership, then I go, oh, well, actually, I have all of these other ways I can help you get to that result anyway, where then I can present the high ticket services, the self-study things, whatever it might be. So now we have the hero product. You now can look at that one hero product and say to yourself, if I was only allowed to sell this one hero product this year, how much does it cost? First of all, what's my profit margin on that? Make sure I've checked that I'm actually making money from this thing. How many of those do I need to sell to reach that OBT number? Boom, we've got a simple mathematic equation now of how many of these we need to sell. The next question is, and I do actually have a calculator that's completely free of charge on this. Maybe Athin, I'll give this to you afterwards and pop the link below. But basically, this next bit is then the most critical of production, productivity, and actually hitting our goal. Now we need to know, let's pretend I've got to sell 1,000 of this thing, this hero product, to reach whatever my goal was. Now we need to know, how many people do I need to get in front of in order to sell 1,000 of these? Because most people just think, if I get in front of 1,000 people, I'll sell 1,000 of that product. Ba-bam. If you're lucky in today's world and you're marketing enough, 1% of that public market may buy from you. So that means it's not 1,000 people I need to get in front of, it's 100,000 people I need to get in front of. I don't even know, the maths is terrible. That's why I made a calculator, all right? So you can see now how big, frequent, and at what volume our marketing needs to be. So now my calculator will say, based on a conversion rate of 1%, and if it's a membership, a churn rate of X%, you actually need to get in front of not 1,000 people. It might come up saying you need to get in front of 800,000 people. So my question then filters down to, how can I make money today that's going to help me sell 1,000 of this thing? That means today I need to get in front of at least X thousands of people. My next task then becomes, how do I get in front of that many X thousands of people? And the to-do list now completely revolves around achieving the OBT to sell that number of products, to get in front of this many people. And as the CEO of your business, That is where your strategy drives from. The next part is, can I bring in other people to just help do more of this at a higher volume, get it in front of even more people? Instead of selling 1,000, let's sell 10,000. How many people would I need to get in front of in my marketing then? Now, what tasks do we need to do to achieve that volume of marketing? This is all business is. If you then reach that number of people who are your target market, and you've got your messaging right, and your conversion rates start going up, you cannot not hit that goal. It's just mathematical equations. It is literally just volume and consistency. So for me, I then now know what tasks are mine, what tasks are for me to give to other people in my team, and I schedule them in my tasks manager in Tekmatix, assign all of the tasks with the instructions to all of the people in the task manager in Tekmatix. I then set slots in my personal calendar for any of those tasks that are assigned to me, so that there is an actual time and appointment that I have with myself that nobody else can book, so that that task gets done. Because this is the bit, again, where people just disappear and stuff doesn't happen, is they put it on their to-do list, they put it on their handwritten notes, they stick it in some digital calendar, and then they just ignore it. For me, I make it a non-negotiable appointment that I keep as committed to as an appointment with a customer. It can only get done. And then the third and final part of my productivity is having balance. So I don't take calls on Mondays, and I certainly don't take calls on Fridays. Mondays is a co-working day for me. I use the energy of friends to come around my house and work with me, and we smash admin on 60-minute power hours. So no talking, turn on your counter or your clock, whatever you got, your little countdown timer on your phone. For every 60 minutes, jump up, exercise, get the blood pumping through your body, and then go, what am I going to do for the next 1 hour? And beat yourself at your own goal every 60 minutes. It's amazing how much you can get done. So I start my week having smashed goals, feeling ahead of myself. Tuesday and Wednesdays, calls, podcast appointments, delivering training, one-on-one sessions with clients. Thursdays and Fridays, back to admin. And usually on the Friday, the admin involves going to the local spa with my friends, and we debrief on our week together and all of our work and challenges. So keeping that balance is super important for me. But every single thing that goes on my to-do list, or every single thing that presents itself as an opportunity, I hold it up against the OBT and I ask myself, does this directly step me towards achieving that OBT? And if it doesn't, it's just a distraction. It goes in the pile of fun things that we might be able to do later when we're billionaires.
I love it. So powerful, right? That what Sarah just shared there, of the whole way of breaking it down, right? That thought pattern, and then getting it to that minute of what to focus on or what to say no to, I think is the other very powerful part of what you said, right? Because a lot of people, it's easier to say yes, where it's more important to say no and going, is this, going towards the way that I want to go to? So yeah, you've shared so much gold with us here today, Sarah. And I guess as we're wrapping up, what one key piece of advice would you like to give to all the entrepreneurs watching and listening today?
If I could give one piece of advice to any entrepreneurial business owner right now, it would be start yesterday. I think too many of us can get wrapped up in overcomplicating things. I'm guilty of it myself. Even just yesterday in my Legends Lab call, I demonstrated how to create and set up all of the tech for a lead magnet in 11 minutes. And by the time I'd finished the tutorial, I'd already had people opt into it. We overthink, we overcomplicate, we overanalyze, we pause, we think we have to have the perfect logo, the shiniest teeth, wait until I've had my hair done before we go out and launch that thing. The reality is billions of people are searching how to do what you can help them do right this very minute. All you have to do is be out there saying, I can help you with that. You don't need fancy funnels. They help and they're great, but you don't need them right now today to make money right now today. Start sharing what you do, start sharing who you help, how you help them, and importantly, volunteering yourself and putting yourself in front of those people and offering them the opportunity to have that thing completed with your help and your support. If you don't put it out there, if you're not marketing consistently, if people can't see you and hear you every single day, you simply don't exist to them. And unfortunately, in the world of business, that means you're not making money, and that means you're closing very, very fast. It requires consistent action over a long period of time, no matter how terrifying it is, no matter how overwhelming it feels, and no matter how scared of criticism and failure you are. It is always going to be there. So do it anyway, and do it today.
Yeah, love it. So true. Make it happen, everyone. Let's get it going from now and imperfect action, to create the momentum and success. And yeah, we connected, through our networks, learned about your awesome journey from being a teacher trainer to obviously now being the founder of the all-in-one business learning management platform, Tekmatix. Amazing woman, so knowledgeable, so unique and authentic on how you deliver things, and you're making it happen, right, Sarah? Which is amazing, right? Which is great. I've been to one of your events virtually, and I know you do in-person hybrid type of events and help a lot of people, do a lot of speaking everywhere. So I'm sure you're going to continue to help experts commercialize their expertise and build a global business as well in the leading authority. So very grateful. We connected. We're finally able to do this and help a lot more people here today. So finally, Sarah, how can people find you and get in contact with you?
Thank you. Well, I believe every successful business owner should have a link page that contains all of your important links, like all of your social media links, and opt in to your email list and all of the free things that you offer and all the things that you sell. We have plenty of those templates ready made for you at Tekmatix. So if you go to sarahcordiner.com/links, you will find my link tree that's hosted on Tekmatix that has all of that information on there. Athin, thank you so much for having me today. It's been an absolute honor to come and share with you.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Business Growth Show, where we talk about everything on business growth. And please like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as Athin Cassiotis, or visit my website, athincassiotis.com. And if you want to grow and scale your business, you can reach out to me on any platform to see if we're a good fit. So until next time, remember that our business grows where we learn skills and take action using them in spite of fear. So let's create wealth and freedom together.